Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day here in New York City. I'm loving this background today. I am Janet Soriano, and you're here, you're watching the Profitable Marketing Sessions. Today, we're going to talk about the three mistakes you need to avoid when creating a marketing plan, right? And I just want to let you know that last week on Sunday was my baby's birthday. This is, even though the videos are recorded, I actually do them every week in real time. So this past weekend was my baby's birthday. I can't believe he's like 5 years old already. It was like the other day that he was born. And I did kind of like a looking back at the pictures when he was born and where I was in my business at that time. And after taking, I remember that after taking a few months off um, for maternity leave, I went through like a notebook of ideas that I had, right? And throughout my maternity leave, I remember that I did a lot of like note taking, a lot of ideas. I wasn't working on my business, but I still had my business in my mind, right? So all of the ideas that I had in my mind, I put them down on a notebook to like really when I decided to go back to working, that I would have something to look back into and see what what were the steps that I wanted to take, right? So I remember feeling very scattered and overwhelmed because I had so many ideas that I didn't know how to get started on each one, right? I didn't know what were the steps that I needed to take to like really start kicking off my business to be profitable again, right? I remember I took about 3 to 4 months off, and by then my business was not on autopilot, so I wasn't getting any business during when I was in maternity leave. I completely stopped any remarketing effort that I did. So I didn't have any clients coming in um, during those months. I was only working with past clients, right? So I struggled for a few months when I got back into my working groove. I struggled a few months to actually, get actually taking action and doing the marketing aspect of my business. So I had the idea in my head, but I didn't have the structure to back it up so I can actually fully taking action on those ideas. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Today's lesson is about like understanding why a marketing plan is really, really important in your business. And I'm just going to go through the three mistakes that I went through when creating a marketing plan, because at the beginning of anything, you need a plan that is going to take you from point A to point B to point C, right? So if you have kind of like a to-do list in place, it's very different from a to-do list. Like a plan needs to be like fully thought out at least 30 days in advance, right? But before I landed on creating this, what I call it now, the profitable marketing plan, which is actually what I teach my clients do in the profitable business program, is that you're going to learn these three mistakes, and hopefully once you understand these three mistakes, you can avoid them when you start creating your own marketing plan for your business, right? Because it's very different from creating a to-do list, right? Like you could easily just I just have a to-do list right here for today, right? You could easily just do a to-do list and just like it can be nonstop and there's no goals in place. But a marketing plan is different because a marketing plan can actually allow you to understand where you're at to where you want to be, right? And actually plan out those steps in between that are going to be very clear and straightforward to helping you understand how you can start being profitable in your business, right? So today's session is about the three mistakes almost every entrepreneur makes when creating a marketing plan. And I'm going to also show you how to shift that and turn that around, right? So mistake number one is you're planning too far in advance. Yes. I did on the beginning of getting back on creating a marketing plan was I was thinking too far ahead. The idea of not knowing exactly where I would be or what I would be doing a year or even 5 years from now, that kept me from actually just grasping at the idea that I needed to make a plan. Like that can just set you back up for so many times. Like it just keeps you from actually creating the plan because let's be honest, you could have the idea of where you want to be, but you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing 5 years from now, right? You don't know exactly where you're going to be even a year from now, right? So I knew that I needed to make a plan that I can actually know what I could expect, right? Like there's no point of having a plan if you do not know what to expect, right? So instead of grasping on the idea of a 1 year plan for my business, I began with a 30-day plan, right? So instead of planning out in advance for two in advance, I planned out 30 days of my work, of the things that I wanted to do in my business, the things that I want to accomplish in my business, right? So after a few months of creating those 30-day plans, then I became comfortable in being able to create 90-day plans, right? Because I knew what I could expect. I knew what my day-to-day task in my business were. So I knew that having that 90-day plan would actually be 100%, doable, right? But I started with the 30-day plan. I didn't go off and created the 90-day plan because even that felt overwhelming. Even that felt too much for me. So if you are a person who are it's so difficult for you to plan things out in the beginning. Like I know for me, planning in like 6 months in advance is still a lot, right? Because I know I have a lot of ideas that are coming up. A lot of things are going to be changing, right? But I still needed to have a plan in place, right? And the reason why I needed to have a plan in place is because planning allows you to actually know what the next step is going to be, right? When you know what your next step is, there's no more confusion that's going to derail your path. When you plan in advance, you know what's coming. So when you have new ideas, you know exactly what to do with those ideas, exactly what not to do with those ideas, right? And when you have a plan, you're ahead of the game because you're able to execute with less effort and create more results for yourself. So this helps you create consistency in your marketing and create consistency in your profits and your income, right? So this is why planning is very, very important because it directly affects your bottom line, AKA your profits, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to plan at least 30 days in advance. Even if you're a solo entrepreneur, if you're doing this on your own, you have no team in place, what I want you to do is just plan at least 30 days in advance because when we're alone at this, when we don't know what the next should be, it's going to be and it's going to feel much, much harder to know what the next best step for you to be able to move forward and make your business profitable, right? Mistake number 2 is planning only your content, right? So planning only your content and not taking into consideration that there's other things that you need to plan for, right? So I did this a lot of times, right? Where I planned only my content topics, what I was going to write about, what I wanted to create, right? But I then left out the most important part, which is what are the activities that I'm going to do, the money making moves that I was going to take to bring in the cash and bring in the clients, right? So you may have heard content is king. And yes, you can attract a great quality of leads through content, yes, but when it's done right, right? So yeah, content is only one part of your marketing plan, right? Content is not your marketing plan. Content is just one part of the marketing plan. So when you're creating a plan, a marketing plan, you need to consider how are you going to get people to actually engage with you, right? What's the actual plan to create those conversations that's going to lead into sales, right? What is your strategy to get them to buy, right? And yes, creating content can provide engagement, can provide for you to start that conversation. That's why content is important. That's where, but content is just the first part, right? You need to be able to actually engage in conversations and actually get people to get on a sales call with you or fill out an application, right? So what is your plan to get them to do that? What is your plan to actually get cash in the door and get clients in the door, right? So that's something very important that you need to like really consider when you're creating a marketing plan, because if you leave that part out, you're just going to be creating content, and not seeing the results. And that's why I see a lot of previous, like a lot of my clients that come to me and they need help with getting clients is because they're just creating content, but not actually doing the follow-ups. They're not creating those conversations. They're not getting leads through the door, qualified leads through the door, right? So what's going to create a difference between a marketing plan that works and a marketing plan that doesn't is actually your sales plan, right? Your sales plan, right? You need to understand what is going to be your sales plan, how you're going to connect, how you're going to engage people to actually start conversations with you, and how you're going to lead those conversations into sales, right? So if you're not sure how to add this important component into your marketing plan, then I would love for you to consider the Profitable Marketing Intensive. This is a 2-hour intensive. We will work with you to help you figure out exactly how you can start getting clients to the door. What's going to be your sales plan for having a profitable business, right? That's mainly that's like, if you leave this out, it can be the difference between being profitable and not being profitable, and just creating content over and over and over again and not really seeing the results in your business. Mistake number 3 is leaving, sorry. Mistake number 3 is leaving future decisions to an if, right? So the whole point of creating a marketing plan is for you to make decisions in advance, right? So if the decision depends on another decision to be made, then when you are hit with that decision the final decision that you need to make, you're going to hit a wall and you're going to feel stuck, and it's going to be hard for you to move forward with your plan, right? So let me just give you an example of that. Let's say I get 3 clients. If I get 3 clients, then I will start a podcast. If that's the plan, right? So once I get these 3 clients, then I'm going to start a podcast, right? Another one is, so once I get that client, then I'll hire that coach or get that training that I need in order to move forward, right? Or once I write these 10 blog posts, then I'll start posting consistently, right? The first example of I get 3 clients, then I'll start a podcast leaves you like hanging out of nowhere, like just waiting for you to hit that goal in order to get started and start executing on your plan, which is like, clearly you're going to be stuck in a wall. Like you're not going to be able to move forward until you hit that goal. The second example is it corners you to a wall, because if hiring that coach or taking that course is exactly what you need to be able to move your business forward and get more clients, then you're going to be stuck. Waiting for you to finally, I don't know, magically have the money or have the resources to be able to invest in that coach or invest in that course, right? The third one leaves you overwhelmed by the upfront workload, right? So if I have to like 10 blog posts before I can even post the first one, it's going to be very, very, very hard for me to execute on that, right? It's going to be charged. It's going to be like a lot of work, and I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to sit down and feel energized about doing 10 blog posts, because who wants to do 10 blog posts in one setting, right? So of course, there's a lot of people that do, right? But do you see how creating a marketing plan without making decisive decisions can keep you stuck, right? The whole point of creating a marketing plan is that you need to make the decisions now to be able to move forward and take action on those decisions, right? So now maybe what I want to advise you is that you don't plan out to make future decisions um later, right? Don't make those decisions later, make those decisions now, so then you can be able to effortlessly take action on that. So that is gonna, like, if you flip it over to making those decisions now, then what it would look like, it would be like this. It would be like starting a podcast to achieve the goal of getting my first 3 clients. That's more achievable. Or hiring a coach or getting that training to help me get that next client. That's more achievable. And writing 2 blog posts, at least 2 blog posts, or even 1 per week, so I can consistently be able to work, be able to know what's coming up in advance, right? So planning by making decisions now helps you create that momentum and reach your goals much, much faster than just waiting for a miracle to happen, waiting for you to have the money, waiting for you to have the resources, or hiring, waiting for you to actually have the time to sit down and write 10 blog posts, which is not going to happen. Especially if you're a mom. Definitely. Like, I could not sit down and write 10 blog posts in one day. It's just not going to happen for me. So I need to find a way that it's going to work for me. I need to make a plan where I can be able to consistently execute it on. And it doesn't depend on me making decisions later, but making those decisions now, so then I can effortlessly execute on those decisions, right? So let's just recap the 3 mistakes you should avoid when creating a marketing plan. Number 1 is planning too far in advance. Number 2, planning out only content and not your money-making moves, which is your sales plan. And number 3 is leaving future decisions to an if, right? If I do this, then I'll do that, right? So my take for you is, if you're ready to create a marketing plan, right? A marketing plan that's going to be able to help you take consistent action to getting your business profitable, I want you to consider getting the support you need in this marketing intensive that I'm offering you, right? I only have 5 spots left this month. So you can go to my website, janetsoriano.com/marketing intensive, and we can really talk about, like, what is going to be the next best step for you to actually start getting clients now instead of years from now, right? We're going to go like straight in. What's going to help you? What are the steps that you need to take to start getting those clients in the door, right? It's not about just creating a plan of the content. Of course, that is important to start getting people engaged in your business, but we're going to really talk about your message in overall, your message in the front end of your marketing, the message in the back end of your marketing where you're talking to prospect, and your messaging in your sales process, right? So it's all congruent, and it all needs to work together in order for you to be successful and making your business profitable. So take me up on this marketing intensive. We are having only 5 spots available this month. So grab yours, learn more about it at my website, janetsoriano.com/marketing intensive. Until that day comes that I get to talk to you, then I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for coming here, and please go on my website and comment. Let me know, what do you think about this 3 mistakes that I made in my business that you are now aware of, and now you can be able to change those things around, right? And also tell me, does it feel hard right now to create a marketing plan? And if it does, I want you to reach out. I want you to ask questions. I'm here for you, okay? So thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.